Very addictive, very bad for you. We know about the dopamine hits. When I say dopamine hit, everybody knows what we're talking about, right? Like
But you wouldn't have back then. Were you even using that term?
Yeah.
Is that when you?
I'd studied those chemicals when I wrote Leaders Eat Last. So that's one of the things that got me on that bandwagon to have some of those insights. I was studying it for another reason and realized, oh my goodness, it's over here.
Okay.
But yeah, it is very bad. It affects adults as well as young people, obviously. But young people are much more susceptible to it because they're much more susceptible to a lot of things. Young people need twice the amount of dopamine as adults to get the same feel good, which means they're drinking twice the amount of alcohol. You know, it's the analogy.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm obsessed right now is with friendship. It's sort of the thing that I'm fascinated by and working on. If you look at most of the challenges that we're talking about these days, the epidemic of loneliness, rising rates of depression, anxiety, inability to cope with stress, in extreme cases, suicide, friendship fixes all of those things. Friendship fixes all of those things. It's the ultimate biohack. And yet if you ask people, are you a good friend? Most people say yes. And if you peel the onion just a little bit, you realize that we're all actually pretty bad friends. Like, would you cancel on a friend for work, or would you cancel on work for a friend? Oh, but my friends will understand, right? And you realize pretty quickly that we're not very good at communicating. Like, if you're having trouble in your marriage, right? If you have a fight, if there's a violation of trust, you try and talk it out, you work on it, you sit in the mud together, you get therapy, you try very hard to make the relationship survive. If you have a huge fight with a friend, or there's a violation of trust, we just abandon friends. Like, we don't do friend therapy to save a friendship. Why not? And one of the reason I talk about this is, as adults, we're struggling with friendship, how to make them, how to maintain them, how to look after them, sometimes how to end them, how to repair them.
Yep.
We're bad at it as adults. We're not teaching our kids how to make friends. When your kids have play dates, they all have phones. Take all the phones away, put them in a bowl. Call the parents and be like, well, the parents called you because you made the play date. But say, listen, we're planning on taking the phones away. If you need your kid, call me. And we know this, a lot of schools want to get rid of phones. It's the parents who won't let them. Well, what if there's an emergency? Well, call the office, they know where your kid is. Old school, right? Like, the old systems work. And so one of the things that I'm very afraid of, even while we're struggling, is we are not teaching our kids how to relate to each other, how to have fights with each other, how to resolve things, how to repair, and how to make friends, which means the epidemic that we're facing now of loneliness, stress, depression, and suicide gets worse. And our children will be the ones struggling even more than we are.